So let's get started. Jessica will be in a moment. Taking a comfortable seat on the mat. Sit however you like, just so you feel nice and balanced on the mat. You can close the eyes here if you want to. And feel the parts of the body that are touching the ground. The sitting bones, and the ankles, any other part that's on the ground. Let the body relax into that support. Let the body feel easy and soft. And follow with the mind's eye the center of the body all the way from the base of the spine to the crown of the head. Lift up, lengthen the body, and at the same time, let the outer parts of the body relax down, opposite direction. Let the shoulders and the arms and the legs be soft and relaxed. And then take a few moments paying attention to your breath. Notice the inhalation and the exhalation. Watch the way the body changes shape around the breath. Feel the ribs grow big and expand, and then as you exhale, just feel the whole body releasing down. 2 or 3 breaths, easy and steady. If you want, you can make a soft sound of the ocean in the back of the throat. Ujjayi Pranayama, like a Darth Vader sound. Inhaling and exhaling. And let that sound of the breath be the focus of your practice this evening. Steady and even, with as little effort as possible. And then moving with the breath, inhale the palms together at the heart. The elbows stay soft by the side. Close the eyes again and imagine your body between your palms. And then if you want to, you can rub the hands together here, building some heat between the hands. And when the hands get nice and warm, take the palms and put them on the eyes. Feel the warmth move through the head, and then reach the hands back. Interlace them behind the head, support the base of the skull. Lean a little bit into the hands and let the elbows move forward and maybe a little bit up. Let the sternum rise up. Keeping the eyes closed here, notice where you might have brought more tension into the body. Maybe the legs, or the shoulders, or the sides of the body, and see if you can relax here, balancing the body on the sitting bones. As you inhale, reach the hands up. The palms facing each other. You can look up here if you want to. Reach out into the fingertips, expanding. And then as you exhale, face the palms away from the body. Move the hands towards the ground with the breath. You can watch the fingertips out of the corners of the eyes as they lightly touch down. Begin inhaling, reverse the palms, and rise up. Continue this movement with your breath, making this as easy as possible, drawing a circle in the air around you. The only effort matching body to breath. Notice the way the spine changes shape as you inhale and as you exhale. This time, when your fingertips reach the ground, let them stay there. As you inhale the next time, reach the fingertips away from the hips, just as far as you can reach. Make a triangle with the arms and the ground. Lift the crown of the head, and then look towards the right hand. Lower the palm to the ground. Lean into that hand. Press the right hand into the ground, and then inhale the left hand up towards the ceiling. If you want to, you can extend it further towards the right side. It's not important. It doesn't have to be a deep stretch. Just nice and easy. Nice. Inhale, both hands up. Urdhva Hastasana, palms facing each other. Exhale, face the palms away and reach the fingertips towards the ground. Inhale, expand, fingertips away from the body, and then look towards the left hand. Lower the palm down, press into the left hand, and inhale the right up towards the ceiling or further if it feels good. It's a gentle stretch. The left side body is softening. The right side body is expanding. Inhale, reach up, look up. And exhale. This time, let the left hand come to the right knee, and the right hand reaches behind the body, other side. There you go. Roll the right shoulder towards the back. Keep the shoulders above the hips. So if you're leaning, see if you can balance it. Lengthen here. Create a gentle rotation. Try not to use the arms to create the twist, but just let the body rotate from the center out. Feel the breath expand the rib cage here. Inhale, return to center, looking up, reaching up. And exhale, now the right hand to the left knee. And the left hand travels behind the body. Roll the left shoulder towards the back of that. Let the shoulder lead the movement. Keep the crown of the head above the base of the spine. You can look towards that shoulder if you want to. Easy, steady breath. Inhale, return to center. Look up, reach up. This time, when you exhale, reach the hands forward as far as you want to. It can be way out in front or closer into the feet. If you have any support, a block or a pillow, you can put it under the forehead here if you're close enough. Or you can press into the hands to create a round shape in the back. Whatever choice you make, let the head hang heavy here. Let the back of the neck be long. This can be a big sensation on the outer hips. If we have tight hips, that's okay. Just breathe into the body. Feel the back body expanding. See if you can feel the ribs behind the lungs creating space. Thank you. Inhale and exhale. From here, move forward into a child's pose. You can roll over the shins if you want to, or just swing the legs around. Position yourself towards the back of the mat. So the knees are about a fist distance apart from each other. The shins are parallel to each other. If this feels uncomfortable on the knees, you can put support, and you can sit on a cushion or a block if that feels nicer. As you lower down, lengthen the abdomen. Let the bottom of the ribs come to the thighs, and then reach the hands forward. Let them be shoulder width or maybe greater apart. Rest the forehead on the ground, or use a block or any other support under the forehead here. So especially if you have to curve the neck a lot to let the forehead come to the ground, maybe put some support under it. Let the spine be long here. Move the hands so they're shoulder width or greater apart. The forearms are parallel to each other. That's it. Nice. Let there be an active sensation in the hands. Press the hands into the mat. Feel that energy moving up to the shoulders, pressing the hips back towards the heels. Nice. Press into the hands here. Press the fingertips. Let the fingers be spread as wide as you can, like you're trying to palm the earth. Press the palms down. Press the fingertips down. We'll start adding some movement to our practice here. Little cat-cow vinyasa. As you inhale, keep the hands where they are, but lift the shoulders and the sternum. Look forward towards the hands. See if you can feel the tailbone lifting too, but keep the ribs on the sides. It's an arch of the spine. Exhale, release the forehead back to the ground. Continue this movement, inhaling and exhaling, just exploring the natural extension of the spine, finding your range of movement, finding your rhythm of breath. If you want to, continue this movement or add on a little bit so that as you inhale the next time, lift up from the center of the back, rising into a round-shaped spine to a tabletop pose. And then as you exhale, tilt the tailbone, shift the hips back towards the heels. That same spinal movement, the breath is reversed here. Rounding as you rise, arching as you exhale. Stay in this movement if you want. Adding on, if you like, you can inhale to tabletop. And as you exhale, shift the shoulders forward and lower them down between the hands. The hips stay high. As you inhale, release the hips to the ground. Lift the shoulders and the sternum for a low cobra. Exhale, release the shoulders down. Inhale, the hips rise first into tabletop. Exhale to child's pose. Continue this movement, exploring the range of movement in the spine. Exhaling the chest and chin between the hands. Inhale forward and up. And exhale. Inhale to rise. One more addition if you want. Tuck the toes here and exhale into downward facing dog. As you inhale, come to a high plank or a half plank. And as you exhale, bend the elbows just a little bit towards chaturanga. Inhale, come forward onto the tops of the feet, upward facing dog. Exhale, the hips high, downward dog. Any of those variations, feel free to go back to one that lets the breath move easier. The focus here on steady, even, easy breath. One more complete set of movement, whichever you choose. And then we'll all meet in downward facing dog. And take a moment here. Anytime you want to, come back to child's pose. From downward facing dog, the feet are hip width apart and parallel to each other. The hands are shoulder width or greater, and you're pressing down into the hands with the fingers spread wide. Feel free to have a gentle bend to the elbows and the knees. Release the weight of the head. Let the back, neck be long and soft. Feel the ribs reaching back towards the thighs. This allows you to tilt the tailbone up towards the ceiling. Get a little bit of that arch of the spine if you want. Nice. From here, we'll all inhale forward, either into a high plank or a half plank. If you're in plank, let the heels be above the ball mount, let the shoulders be above the wrists. If you're in half plank, see if you can keep a long body, knees, hips, and shoulders. If neither of these feel good, feel free to use a tabletop pose. That's fine. From here, we'll move into a supported side plank. Begin by bringing the right knee underneath the right hip, so the upper leg is straight up and down, and press the shin and the top of the foot down into the mat. Lower the left heel down, so the heel is in line with the right shin. One straight line. As you're ready, stack the shoulders and the hips. The left hand can rest on the waist here if you want, or reach it up towards the ceiling, or exhale it forward on the spine line. Keep the outside edge of the left foot, the pinky side, pressing onto the mat, so you're rolling onto the outer bit of the foot. Nice. Center the head between the shoulders so you feel the head and the spine all in one nice line. Beautiful. Lift this up. Nice. Press into the foot. Press the left foot and the right hand away from each other so you feel the energy activating up the left side of the body. Inhale, expand. Exhale, both hands to the ground. Square the hips and the shoulders. Take a minute here to feel the difference between the left and the right side of the body. And then release the left knee down below the left hip. Press the shin and the top of the foot, lower the right heel down. Stack the hips and the shoulders. It's nice to keep a little gentle bend in the left elbow and maybe even rotate the elbow back so it's pointing towards the hip. There's an external rotation of the shoulder and protects it. The right hand can reach up towards the ceiling or exhale forward on the spine line. Lengthen, heel, hip, shoulder, fingertip. Reaching, expanding the right side of the body. Look up underneath the tricep if you want. Inhale, reach up, expand. Exhale, both hands to the ground. Back to plank pose, or half plank, or tabletop. Feeling the center line of the body, strengthening and lengthening. And then when you're ready, ride the breath all the way to the ground. Elbows bending back towards the hips. Untuck the toes, rest the forehead on the ground. We'll move from here towards a Sphinx pose. As you inhale, slide the hands forward. Bring the elbows underneath the shoulders. Keep the hips resting on the ground. Use the friction of the forearms to draw the torso forward. Imagine the sternum, we're trying to touch the wall in front of you. Let the back body be soft here. The glutes and the hamstring and the calves, let them melt down to the bone. Hold this length in the abdomen so that as you lower, you bring the bottom of the ribs down first. Contact with the mat and then slide the hands back. Release the shoulders and the forehead. From here, we'll move towards locust pose, Shalabhasana. Squeeze the legs together on the center line. As you inhale, lift the legs. Add the shoulders, the forehead, the sternum if you want. Add the hands if that feels easy. Remember, focus on the breath. Let the breath drive the movement. If you want to, you can reach the hands back to the hips. Palms facing outward, thumbs facing towards the ceiling. Feel an external rotation of the shoulders, broad across the chest. Inhale, expand. Exhale, release. Forehead on the mat, tuck the toes, exhale up through tabletop or chaturanga into downward facing dog. And take a moment here, let the spine decompress. Lift the tailbone towards the ceiling. Reach the elbows back towards the hips, reach the ribs back towards the thighs. Lift the tailbone. And then at the bottom of your exhale, bend the knees just a little bit more, look forward towards the hands, and step, hop, or float the feet to the hands. As you inhale, expand, lifting halfway. As you exhale, release, crown of the head towards the toes. Inhale, reach the arms wide and rise up. Urdhva Hastasana, palms facing each other, palms together through the center line. And release. Equal standing. Move towards the front of your mat with the feet parallel and hip width apart, toes spread wide. We'll move through an active salutation. As you inhale, hook the thumbs together, float the fingertips up towards the ceiling, reach them towards the back, watch them as they move back. As you exhale, hinge forward at the hips. Bend the knees here if you need to, reach the hands down and then back, lift the wrists, interlace the fingers. Roll the shoulders towards each other. Inhale, reach the hands up and slide the right foot straight back. It's a high lunge, the feet are parallel and the heel is lifted. Sink into the hips here. Exhale, the hands to the mat. Slide the left foot back into downward facing dog. Inhale forward to a high plank or a half plank. Exhale, stay here or bend the elbows just a bit towards chaturanga. Inhale forward and up. Low cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, the hips high. Downward facing dog. Inhale the right foot forward. Press into the foot to float the fingertips. The heel is lifted. Exhale the left foot forward. The feet stay hip width apart. Hinge and reach back and up if you want. Yoga Mudra. Inhale, hook the thumbs, float the fingertips up and back. And on the other side, exhale into Yoga Mudra. Inhale, slide the left foot straight back. The fingertips rise. Exhale the hands to the mat. Slide the right foot back, downward facing dog. Inhale forward to a high plank or a half plank. Exhale, any vinyasa. Inhale to rise. Exhale the hips high. Inhale the left foot forward. Press into the foot to float the fingertips. Exhale the right foot forward. Hinge at the hips. Inhale, hook the thumbs, float the fingertips. And exhale the palms together. Through the heart. And release. Equal standing. Tadasana or mountain pose. The toes can be together, the heels apart. Spread the toes wide here. Let there be an active feeling in the feet, the inner arches lifting up. Maybe the outer shins engaged, an outward rotation all the way up through the quads, across the hips and the abdomen. The sternum lifts. The whole center line of the body lifts up. And the outer edges of the body release down towards the ground. And we'll move towards a Vrikshasana, tree pose. Balancing. Inhale the palms together at the heart. Exhale, the right foot rotates, maybe 90 degrees, maybe less. The navel comes back to center. As you inhale, slowly peel the right foot up off of the mat. just as far as you want. The toes can stay down, or you could stack them on top of the foot, or you could draw them up higher if you want to the calf, or even higher if you like. You could draw them up into the root of the thigh if that feels good. Balance the body. Add the arms if you want. Reaching up and looking up if that feels comfortable. Don't worry about losing your balance. That's fine. It's that moment of losing your balance that's the yoga practice. Don't think of this as being a fixed, still point, but think of this as being a stable point that can react to change. Feel the breath moving through the body. Feel all the muscles of the body participating in this balancing pose. Bring the palms back together through the center line, and then keeping the right foot lifted, rotate the knee towards the front and interlace the fingers. Support the knee, lifting it up all the way up to the chest if you can. Holding the knee with the left hand, slide the right hand down towards the shin or the ankle, and then with your balance, rotate the knee first down with the foot behind the body, the heel by the glute. The left hand can be on the hip here, or you can reach it up high. And stay here if this feels like a good pose, like a good challenge. If you want to, you can press the right knee back, lengthening the quadricep and hip flexor. Try not to let the knee rotate out of the socket. Keep the knee, the thighs in line with each other. Just enjoy the pose. Enjoy the challenge of the balance. And from here, if you want to, feel free to rest at any time. But if it feels comfortable, you can extend the right leg out and bring the palms together at the heart for a warrior 3. Here, the hips are balanced. The heel is the longest part of the leg. The eyes are down on the ground. The hands can stay at the chest, or they can reach back, just like in Shalabhasana. External rotation of the shoulders. Release the toes to the ground. This is a difficult transition to do over the Zoom, but we're going to move to the ground towards a Lord of the Fish pose, half fish pose, Ardha Matsyendrasana. So the transition is that you release the right knee to the outside of the left heel. But that's very hard to communicate across the computer. So I would suggest you have a seat and close the right knee. And then move the left foot to the outside of the right knee. Let me just see how we're doing here. That's it. Perfect. Nice. Take the right hand and hug the knee into the chest. Use that to keep the spine nice and straight. And then reach the left hand behind the body. You can use a block or support here. Press into the left big toe. Press into the left hand and feel the spine lengthening. Nice. Good job, everybody. Worked much better than I thought. Breathe easily here. Every inhalation, feel the spine lengthening. Feel the sternum lifting. Every exhalation, more awareness into the grounding points of the body. Inhale back to center. And if you want, you can exhale a little counter twist here just to even out the sides of the body. And then we'll move from here towards a pigeon pose. So the left leg swings behind the body. The right knee is between the hands, and press all 5 toes of the left foot onto the ground behind you. If the right hip is lifted up and you want to support it, you can put a block or a pillow underneath that right hip if that feels good. So the pelvis feels stable. Lengthen the abdomen and then lower the body to the ground. Stack the hands here and place them under the forehead. So the torso is resting on top of the thigh. The spine is lengthening. The outer hip on the right side feels a bit of an extension maybe. Sometimes we feel this in the left quadriceps, or sometimes we feel it in the inner right thigh. Whatever position you find, relax into it. And bring your awareness to the breath. I'm sorry? Can't hear you. Okay. Your hips are uneven. Okay. When you're ready, rise up, tuck the left toes, swing the right foot behind. You can keep it lifted if you want to for a one-legged downward dog. And move through a vinyasa if you like. And then find your way back to downward facing dog. At the bottom of your next breath, bend the knees, look forward, step, hop, or float the feet to the hands. Inhale, expand. Exhale, release. Inhale, rise up, look up. And release through the center line. Tadasana, mountain pose. Taking a moment here, feel all four corners of the feet grounded. The center line of the body rising as the outer edges reach down. And then we'll move towards Vrikshasana, tree pose. Palms together. The left foot rotating out just as far as is comfortable. The navel and sternum facing forward. Moving with the breath. Draw the left foot up just as far as you want. Just let it stay on the ground if you like, or rest on top of the foot or the ankle or the calf, or if you like, you could draw it up higher if that feels easy. Find your balanced pose. Add the arms if you want. Feel the breath moving through the body. Just be aware of all those little movements that the body makes. Find stability, the reaction to change. And then when you're ready, release the arms. Rotate the knee forward, hug the knee into the chest, lifting up, lengthening the back body here, the glutes and the hamstring. And then if you want to, slide into Lord of the Dance pose. Bring the hand down to the ankle and rotate the knee, first so that it comes even with the other knee. You can stay here. This is a nice pose. Or, if you want to, you can reach the arm up and reach the knee straight back. Not out to the side, but straight back. Feeling a little bit of lengthening in the left quadricep. You can lower down here if you like, if that feels nice. And then if you want, you can move towards Warrior 3. Lengthening the left leg. Heel is the longest part. Keep the hips stable. The hands can come to the heart, or they can reach back towards the hips. Let the crown of the head extend forward, not the forehead. So lengthen the back of the neck. Look down at the ground. Straight down. Anytime this becomes too much of a strain, let the feet come down. Let this be easy. Then release the left foot to the ground. We'll move back towards Ardha Matsyendrasana. So again, the left knee here lowers down to the outside of the right heel. You untuck the toes and sit inside the left foot. Or get there however you like. Doesn't really matter. Find your way to this pose. Press the left big toe into the mat. That acts as an anchor, and press the right big toe into the mat. And hug the right knee into the chest. Reach the right hand behind. Place it on the mat. Use a block here if you want to, or tent the fingers. And roll the right shoulder towards the back. Keep the shoulders above the hips here if you can. Keep the spine lengthening. Lift the crown of the head. Every inhalation, feel a lengthening of the spine. Every exhalation, feel the stability in the sitting bones, in the big toe, in the hand. Relax the body. Breathe into this, let the body expand. And then when you're ready, inhale back to center. A gentle counter twist here if you want to, towards the opposite side with the exhale. And then move towards pigeon pose. Or extend, swing the right leg behind the body. The left knee is bent, so the left foot is by the right hip. Level the hips here. Lengthen the spine and press the right toes, all 5 of them, evenly on the ground. Lengthen the abdomen and lower down, bringing the ribs into contact with the thigh. And then stack the hands or use any other support under the forehead. Let this be a relaxing, restorative pose. Just so bring the right hip forward and lengthen the left side body. Right there. That's perfect right there. And then let the hips settle down into whatever support you like. Nice. And then when you're ready, tuck the right toes, press into the hands, lift the hips and swing the left leg back. You can keep the left leg lifted if you want to, and one leg downward facing dog and vinyasa, or just move through the vinyasa, evening out both sides of the body. Back to downward facing dog. As you inhale the next time, slide the right foot forward towards the right wrist, about 2/3 of the way. Lower the left heel to the ground and press into the feet to rise up. Bring the hands to the hips for a moment and level the hips, left and right. Press the left hip forward so the navel and sternum are facing the front. Add the arm. To Warrior One. The right knee is over the right heel. The left thigh is wrapping in and back. The feet can be hip width apart. Press the left hip forward. So walk this foot over to the side all the way so that you can easily turn. Let this feel easy in the lower body. Nice. This foot can come all the way out to the side. That's it. There you go. So take out any strain in the lower body. Let this feel easy and stable. Let the upper body lift up from the sternum up into the fingertips, shoulders soft. And we'll add a little bit of movement to this pose. As you exhale, reach the arms forward. So there's a straight line, arms, torso, leg, And then swim the hands back to the hips. Inhale, scoop the hands and rise up. And continue this movement on your breath. Exhaling and inhaling. And exhaling. Find the natural rhythm of your breath. And then release the hands all the way to the ground. Find weight in the hands and move through any vinyasa. And on the left side, inhale the left foot forward, lower the right heel to the ground. Build this pose from the ground up. Bring the hands to the hips and adjust the feet so this feels easy. Step the left foot out to the side if you need to. Bring the right foot in a little bit if that helps. Wrap the right, that's it, nice. Level the pelvis. Sometimes we feel a compression in the lower back. Lift the front of the pelvis, strengthening and stabilizing the middle of the body, and then add the arms. Let the sternum rise up. Let the shoulders be soft, active in the hands. And let the breath move through the body. The ribs are fanning apart from each other as you lift the sternum up. Almost like you're breathing through gills. And then we'll add movement. Exhale, the hands forward, arms, torso, leg, one line, swim the hands back. Inhale to rise. Exhale, forward and back. On your breath, exploring the easy movement in your spine, matching body to breath. And then when you're ready, breathe the hands all the way to the ground. Find weight in the hands. Any vinyasa. Back to downward facing dog. With the next movement, keep the left heel lifted and slide the right foot forward toward the right wrist. Press into the right foot as you rise up, first into a high lunge. The hands can be on the hips here if you want, or you can reach the hands high if you like. Lengthen the left leg. The left heel is over the ball mount. The right knee is above the right heel. We're going to move from here into Warrior Two, leading into the movement with the heel. So bring the left heel to the ground and watch as the hips and sternum rotate all the way to the left side. So the navel and the sternum are facing the left side of your mat. The arms are parallel to the ground, and look out over the right middle finger. Let the shoulders be soft here. Active in the hands. Nice. Reverse the right hand. As you inhale, reach it up towards the ceiling, high as you can. The left hand reaches down the left leg, and maybe a little bit towards the back here if you want. Reverse warrior. Feel the lengthening. Fingertips to hip. Inhale, return to center. And this time, reverse. Let the shoulders come forward above the knee. You can support the weight of the shoulders with the elbow or the forearm on the thigh. And we're going to move through this a few times with your breath, so that as you inhale, rise up to 2. And as you exhale, reverse. And then inhale back to center. And exhale the shoulders forward. Any movement with the hands that feels natural to you. You can find a nice Tai Chi-like movement here, a spiraling of the arms, or whatever feels comfortable and natural. Extending first the left side of the body, and then the right. And then when you're ready, inhale back to center. And take a moment here, straighten the right leg. You can bring the hands to the hips if you like, to level the hips, and rotate the navel all the way to the left side. You can release the toes here, so they can come in towards the center if that feels better for your knee. Stable and strong, the straightened legs. And then add the arms parallel to the ground. Look out over the right middle finger. Keep the hands at shoulder height as you exhale. Reach forward. See if you can keep from releasing the left hip forward. The hand come just as far as is comfortable, and then when you find your full extension, drop it down underneath the shoulder. The left hand can reach up towards the ceiling. It's Utthita Trikonasana. It's a triangle pose, and it's a shallow one, a gentle one. Keep the body moving towards the back. The left hip, the left shoulder rolling up towards the ceiling and maybe even towards the back. Keep both sides of the torso lengthening. So it's not really an arching down towards the ground, but it's an extension out into the crown of the head. Nice. And then look down towards the ground. Bend the right knee. Release the hand to the mat. Then the left hand. Come first into a high lunge. And then lower the left knee to the ground and untuck the toes. Draw the hips forward. You feel the skin on the knee being dragged back a little bit. Lengthening from knee to hip flexor. And rise up here if you want to. You can bring the hands to the knee here if you like. You can reach the hands high if you want. You can support the base of the skull here if that feels comfortable. It's a crescent lunge, Anjaneyasana, lengthening from the knee up in front of the hip all the way to the throat. And then release. The hands to the ground. Tuck the toes, slide the right foot back. Any vinyasa, any movement, just to clear the body, like a little shaking of the sand in the Etch a Sketch. Exhale the hips high. And we'll repeat that sequence on the left side. Inhale the left foot forward. Keep the right heel lifted. Press into the foot to rise up. Hands to the knee or hips or high as you're ready. The feet are parallel to each other and hip width apart. The right heel is above the right ball mount. The left knee is above the left heel. Engage the right quadriceps. Use the strength of the right leg to hold the pose. And then when you're ready, lower the right heel to the ground, moving into Virabhadrasana 2. The navel and sternum moving towards the right side. The shoulders above the hips. Spine straight up and down. Active in the hands. Soft in the shoulders. Reverse the left hand. Inhale, reach up and back. The right hand can travel down the right leg here if you want. Keep the head reaching back as well. And then inhale to Warrior 2. And exhale, release the shoulders forward above the knee. You can support the weight of the torso here. Extended side angle pose. Stay here if you want to, or move through the vinyasa. Inhaling up to 2, exhaling back. Inhaling to 2, and exhaling forward. Just moving with the breath. Any movement with the arms that feels natural and comfortable. Letting both sides of the body a chance to extend and relax. The upper body is light and mobile. The lower body is strong and stable. And then when you're ready, return back to center, a warrior 2. And then straighten the left leg. Fully rotate the navel and sternum to face the right side. You can let the toes come into the center if you want to. Level the hips. Add the arms. Look out over the left middle finger. Inhale, expand. As you exhale, keep the right hip and shoulder in line with the left hip and shoulder, but reach the hands forward. Just as far as you can, keeping them at shoulder height, and then when you find your full extension, let the hand drop down underneath the shoulder, anywhere for support. You can look up towards the right fingertips if you want to. The legs are straight. Engage the inner thighs here, lengthening the torso, both sides. Keep the right ribs rolling open towards the ceiling. And then when you're ready, look down towards the ground. Release the left knee above the heel, release the left hand, and then the right. Lift the right heel and lower the knee to the mat. Untuck the toes and draw the hips forward. Any variation here, stay here if that feels like enough of a stretch. You can bring the hand to the knee. Or add the arms, Anjaneyasana. You can keep the arms on the hips or the knees, or you can interlace them behind the head, supporting the skull. Had to let Tonks in, sorry. She's making a noise. Go lay down, Tonks. Go lay down. There we go. Now she's happy. And then release the hands to the ground. Tuck the toes and swing the left foot around. Move through a vinyasa here if you want to. We're going to find our way to Dandasana, staff pose, with the legs extended out in front. You can jump to and through the hands if you like. You can use blocks for a little bit of extra height. Or you can simply swing the legs around. However you get there. Having a seat with the legs extended. Let the hands rest by the hips here. Use the hands to support the body. So press into the hands for a moment. Lift the sternum up. If you need to, feel free to bend the knees. You can even put a pillow or other support underneath the knees. If this feels easy, if you're able to hold the torso in this shape, maybe add the arms, reach them up towards the ceiling. See if you can find the shape of downward facing dog. The tailbone reaching back towards the back of the mat, the sternum lifting. And then we'll exhale into a forward fold here. Bend the knees a lot so that you bring the ribs to rest against the thighs. Let that be the first goal. Rest the ribs on the thighs. This supports the lower back. And then if you want to, reach the hands forward. Keep the tailbone reaching towards the back of the mat, and then relax the head. Once you have this contact with the ribs and the thighs, if you want to let the heels move out further towards the end of the mat, you're welcome to, without losing the support though, without risking any damage to the lower back. Use this pose to look inward. Check in with the body. Notice the effort you've made and the way you feel, and the way the breath is moving through the body. And then it's an inhale to rise. And we're going to move towards Harsva Jana Sirsasana. Keep the left leg long. Draw the right foot into the root of the left thigh. Keep the toes pointed up towards the ceiling and rotate the torso so you're facing over the right knee. The shoulders are in line with the left leg. Inhale the right hand up high towards the ceiling. And you can stay here if you want to, or if it feels comfortable, reach that right hand forward towards the left toe. Let the crown of the head extend out towards that toe. Keep the right shoulder in line with the left, so it feels like you want to let the right shoulder cheat inward, but keep them stacked. Maybe you don't go quite as far as you think you ought to, but it doesn't matter. Just feel that extension from hip to rib to shoulder to fingertip. And then, the next time you exhale, square the shoulders over the leg. You can bend the knee here if you want to, as you come into full Jana Sirsasana, head to toe. If you like, you can reach the hands forward and take the outer edges of the foot. Let's keep the tailbone reaching towards the back of the mat. Keep the crown of the head reaching towards the big toe. Inhale to rise. And moving with the breath, reverse the legs. The right leg reaches out, the left foot comes into the root of the thigh. Keep the toes pointed towards the ceiling as you adjust your seat so you're facing out over the left knee. Let the left hand come up towards the ceiling. Stay here if you want, or let that left hand reach forward towards the toes. Come lie down. The ribs roll open towards the ceiling. The crown of the head extends. And then whenever you're ready, release the shoulder forward into full Jana Sirsasana. The crown of the head moving towards the big toe. Extend it out over the right leg. And then rise up. And bring the feet together, the knees apart for butterfly pose, Baddha Konasana. We'll move through one last vinyasa here, a little cat-cow movement. So make this a big shape with the legs. Rather than having the heels really close into the hips, make it a square shape with the legs, or maybe even a diamond shape. As you inhale, feel the tailbone reaching towards the back of the mat. Pour the pelvic bowl forward, and maybe feel the spine arch just a little bit. Arc. As you exhale, thread the tailbone forward towards the heels, and round the spine. Continue this movement with your breath. Inhaling and exhaling. Let your focus be on the hips and the tailbone, finding as much mobility there as possible, and let the spine move in response, follow like a wave, like a slow moving whip. Lead the movement with the breath. And then the next time you inhale, lift the spine up, lengthen, hold that extension so that when you exhale this time, the shoulders come forward, keeping that extension. Move the shoulders towards the feet. And find that furthest easy extension. And when you get there, release the weight of the head down. You can let the spine round here if you want. Try not to pull yourself into this pose, though. Let the gravity be the force. Another inward-looking pose. Feel the back body expand. And then it's an inhale to rise. Bringing the knees together, moving towards the front of your mat. So there's plenty of space behind you and you won't bump into anything. And hug the knees into the chest here. Lengthen the spine. And then we'll move towards a Navasana pose. Any variation, you can hold onto the shins here if that's best for you. Or you can release the hands. The feet can stay on the ground, or you can begin floating them up. They can float low, or you could bring the shins parallel to the ground if you like. Or you could extend the heels up towards the ceiling. Any of these variations, let the breath guide the pose. So wherever you have to tense and hold your breath, that's too far. Find the place where you can move easily with the breath. And then when you're ready, release the torso down halfway so the small of the back is on the ground and the legs are extended. You can hold onto the legs here if you want. And then slowly release them to the ground. Bend the knees and bring the feet to the ground. Release the shoulders and the head. Bring the heels in close enough to the glutes, close enough to the hips that you can touch them with your fingertips. And we'll move first into an active bridge pose. Press into the feet and the shoulders and lift the hips up towards the ceiling. If you like, you can bridge the shoulders toward each other here. Maybe even interlace the hands. Press the triceps and the forearms down. Feel the length of the front of the body, all the way from knee up to throat. And then release the hands. If you have any support, a block or a pillow, you can place it underneath the sacrum here. And let the hips slowly be supported there on the block. If you don't have any support and you'd like to find another restorative pose, you could move towards the wall for Viparita Karani. Bring the hips right into the corner of the wall and let the legs float up the side. Just find a place, a restorative place that you can rest. If you like, you can move towards an inversion here, letting the feet rise up towards the ceiling. close the eyes wherever you are. Begin lengthening the breath with every exhalation. Feel free to add any little movements to the feet or legs here. Rotations, flexing or unflexing. And then when you're ready, return the feet to the ground. Move away any of the props. And take these last few moments of your practice to scan your body. Just notice what feelings of tension or imbalance still exist. And take any final movement, any final pose that you might like. And that might be a spinal rotation, or maybe you hug the knees into the chest for Apanasana, or any other pose, any other movement that feels good. It feels like it helps restore balance to the body. Finding relaxation. And then whenever you're ready, move towards some final relaxation pose. Now, that could be Shavasana if you like, with the legs extended out, the feet parallel to each other, the hands, the palms facing the ceiling. You can lift the chin a little bit here, make a little curve in the back of the neck. And bring your awareness to the grounding points of the body. Feel even, left and right, from top to bottom. Let that support allow the body to completely relax. And then find your attention in your breath. Let the breath become soft and effortless without any sound at all. A cool stream flowing in and out of the body, nourishing and restoring and relaxing. Relax the inner body, the long muscles of the arms and legs, the deep muscles of the abdomen and core, the strong muscles that we use to hold our poses, move our bodies to the world, move the world around us. Breathe into them. Allow them to lengthen, to soften, and relax. And relax the outer body, surface muscles of the forehead, inside corners, and the outside corners of the eyes, cheeks, lips, the tongue, throat, expressive muscles that we use to show ourselves to the world. Breathe into them. Allow them to relax and soften. And relax the mind. Let the thoughts of the moment float away. The worries and concerns of the day to evaporate. Let the mind become still and calm and perfectly smooth. A reflection of the inner and the outer world. Relax and breathe. And bring your awareness back to your room, back to your body, and back to your breath. Gently wake the body with small movements of the fingers and the toes, of the hands and feet and head. And taking as much time as you like. Roll to one side, resting there for a breath or two. And then find your way to a seated position with the palms together and the eyes closed. And we'll seal our practice together with the sound of Om 3 times. One complete breath together. Inhale and exhale. And the breath rises. Namaste. Namaste. Thank you all very much. That was wonderful.